observing him and after knowing about his vast experience, if you have any questions around, art and the field of crafts, we can take that up. So, introducing Mr. Yunus Khimani.
I live in Jaipur and I have a strong belief that an artist's work should be grounded. And so, since last 3 years, I've started working with 2 craftsmen, and so I have got a lot of samples also here of what all I do. I did my graduation and post-graduation in painting from 1974 to 1981. And then I have been teaching in various design schools. Most of my experience of teaching has been in design schools. I have taught in almost all the premier design institutes in our country. I was a faculty at NID, I was a faculty at NIFT, I was a faculty in School of Architecture in SEPT University in Ahmedabad. These are all very, very well-known institutions of our country. And I also, then I moved to Jaipur in 2005. I was appointed as the Associate Professor at the Indian Institute of Crafts and Design. It was in Jaipur that I started looking at things very intimately. I think Jaipur is a great city to be in, with heritage city. Heritage is the prime thing of Jaipur, and everything is tied up with history and tradition. So tradition becomes a very big word in Jaipur. It's a 18th century, a medieval city. It was set up by Maharaja Savai Jai Singh II, and it has a fantastic sort of atmosphere, something that one gets drowned in. It's very absorbing, and so I have trained as a painter, but then I started doing many other things. So I'll start with my paintings. And when you, there is a problem because when you study under great teachers, it takes a long time to get out of their shadow, and so I remained under the shadow of my teachers for a very long time. And I think it is in 1995. I had also joined my brother's business at that time, earlier than that. And we were in a place, we had a factory in a place called Umargaon. Then we moved here to Mumbai. We had a sort of a small factory. We used to manufacture handicraft goods, and we were in Mazgaon, and so I lived in Mumbai for about 3 years during that time. But it is later that I started working again. Canvas, I used to work on canvas and reinforce with fiberglass at the back. So they became like boards. And they were all, so these are sort of paintings which I associate a shirt with the skein. So this is almost like my own skein. So this is called washed, wrung and hung to dry. So I painted almost like my own skin. I think our garments become our second skin. And so this is just like a second skin that it is that this time I was even thinking of our country and what our country is all about and the history, and I teach art history, so I have a lot of interest in history. So India sometimes to me seems like something that is without a beginning and without an end, in the sense that if we go back to the Rig Veda, it is so distant, that it is very difficult to say where it all starts. And so this is the kind of painting I did. Next. I got a scholarship, Mexican government scholarship to go and study in Mexico. So I was there for a year. The whole of 2000 I was in Mexico. And in Mexico I started realizing how Indian I was. When you are in India, you don't realize how Indian you are. But when you are abroad, it starts becoming very apparent. Everything that we do is very Indian. You know, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we do things, the way we work, everything becomes very Indian. And so it becomes stark, especially when you are in a country like Mexico, which is very difficult because there are very few Indians there. There are actually, apart from the embassy staff, there is hardly any Indians there. So, and you are also in a different language sort of a thing. So it becomes very apparent how Indian you are. You know? And so I did that painting as something like what you can say is my version of Mera Juta Hai Japani. You know? And they also have an expression in Spanish in Mexico. They used to use como yo, you know, like me. So it was almost like they all the time keep on saying como yo. No? So I did a series of paintings called como yo. They are small paintings, but this is a time when I was started questioning who am I and what is real? Am I real? Is my photograph the real? Is my painting the real? So these are self-portraits. The first one is a photograph. The second one is an actual wrinkled canvas which is painted from the photograph. And the third one is a photograph of the wrinkled painting. You know, so I'm asking a question, you know, which is real? You know, do you consider the first one as a real, or the second one as a real, or a third one as a real, or I can keep on doing more and more and more. And the question still lingers, which is real? Next. In Mexico, there are three great painters, you know, who became like the icon of Mexican art, the national heroes, you know, and they were one of the greatest of them was a painter called Diego Rivera. And Diego Rivera painted this kind of murals. This is in the Mexico City, in the Palacio Presidente, which is the president's palace. The president of Mexico lives in this palace. And so this is a big painting. And he all the time painted history of Mexico. You know, and it had a great effect on the people of Mexico because they came to know their history through this painting. You know, at one time, I mean, he was working in the early 20th century in Mexico, and these are large. It's very difficult to believe that this artist could work so much in their own lifetime. So next. This is another artist called David Siqueiros, and this is a painting mural by Siqueiros in University of Mexico. I went especially to the University of Mexico to shoot this. These pictures have been shot by me. Next. And then there is a third artist whose name is Clemente Orozco. And Clemente Orozco never belonged to Mexico City, so his work is not in Mexico City. It is in a city called Guadalajara, which is the second largest city of Mexico. And this was a hospital which got then turned into a museum. And Clemente Orozco was invited to paint, and so he has painted the whole of the monument. Everywhere, the walls, the ceilings, everything is painted by Clemente Orozco. I think it is one of the great monuments, you know, if you want to see Clemente Orozco's paintings. Next. It is from Clemente Orozco I realized that I work on form but not on proportion, and so this is a painting done where I broke up the proportion. You know, the clip is usually small, and the clip is big here, and the shirt is bigger, and the shirt is smaller here. So I reversed the whole thing. This is almost like the system holding you. Next. So I kept on doing this kind of work. Next. Next. I did the installations. I have a great, ever since I was studying in Baroda, I had the great fascination for this painting by Michelangelo. It is in the Vatican City in Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo has painted the whole of Vatican City. He was a celebrity at that time. And when he proposed the paintings to the Pope at that time, he had said that he will paint from the beginning of time to the end of time. So he started this whole painting, ceiling. He painted the ceiling and the walls first, and there he started with the creation of the man. As it, I mean, when we say it is beginning of time, he means the biblical time. And so from the creation of man, and then he took a break of 6 years and he came back and did this altarpiece. And if you see in the middle, there is a image of the Christ, and this is called the Last Judgment, and he is doing the Last Judgment. Next. So this is the middle, the Christ, and Christ is doing the judgment, and people who are on the above have been sent to the heaven, and people who are down are sent to the hell. So I did a version of my own, of a skinned man. This is an installation, so the ironing board is real, the iron is real, but the shirt is painted. It is oil on canvas, so it's almost like replicating the skin. Next. I did all my garments also. Next. Next. Yeah. Of course, I'm skipping a lot of things here, but I can't keep on telling you everything. But I left my job in 2019 because I wanted to concentrate on my work. I always wanted to be a full-time painter. And it is at that time also my wife passed away, so it was a very difficult time. And I started working again after quite a bit of a break. Next. So I also work on I have an iPad Pro with me. I work on my iPad Pro. It's my traveling companion. Whenever I'm traveling, right now I'm working on my iPad Pro because I'm traveling. So this is all done on my iPad Pro. Next. Next. This is a series I did called Bhadra Divas. It's based on City Palace. I was the director of City Palace Museum in Jaipur. And so these images have remained with me all the time. Next. I did a series on clouds, and I have a great fascination for William Wordsworth's poems. So it's his one poem called Daffodil starts with this line, I wander lonely as a cloud. So this is a Baksu waterfall in McLeodganj. Everything was COVID, the news was COVID, everybody, and it was also a great time because nobody called you, nobody invited you, nobody expected you, nobody wanted you to come. So it was like my time at home, and I kept on working. These are the few paintings from COVID. But COVID was too overwhelming. I also started doing sculptures at that time. This is paper mache sculptures. I actually went to Kashmir and learnt a little paper mache from a craftsman in Kashmir. Next. So these are all done in paper mache. On 14th November, that is the Gujarati New Year. I'm a Gujarati, so I thought that I should take a vow on my New Year. So on 14th November 2020, I decided that I'll do drawing every day. So I started a hashtag on Instagram called #daily drawing. And it is being now followed by so many people. So these are all sketchbook drawings. I keep on drawing in my sketchbook, and I have been. It's now 6 years, but I have been doing that almost every day. Every day I draw. Next. So these are all from my sketchbook. Next. Yeah. So this is a go. Take it. Next. Yeah. I also keep on doing drawings. These are bigger ones. These are about 30 inches by 22 inches, what is usually known as the imperial size. I also wanted to do some work which were writing. So I have written. Uh, uh, so it's like a painting by writing. You're doing a drawing by writing. So I have a great interest in calligraphy. So I use calligraphic strokes to do painting and drawings. It is in 2023, I think, June, that I started doing a collaborative project with two craftsmen. One is Giriraj Chipa. He is a block printer in a place called Bagru. So this is Giriraj, this is Badshamiya. Badshamiya is a expert dyer. He is one of the great experts at dyeing, and this is me. So we started working together with textiles. Next. I also created the project. What are the aims of the project? What is it that we are looking at? What are we thinking of? So I wrote down all these things. Next. Dabu is a mud resist that is practiced. I'll show you Dabu here. I have. It's one of the most beautiful printing technique. Of course, I have done it in my own way. I'm an artist, and I work with in a very like an artist, not like a designer. But this is it. So it's a yeah. Actually, वो slideshow बंद कर दो. I will just show the samples. Now this is a discharge. Now discharge is almost like bleaching, and all these are natural indigo. We are working with natural dyes. What material is it? What's the material? But if you are interested, you can stay back and then we can show you more. Yeah. Can you see all of it? And this is all collaborative. I'm working with those two craftsmen. Then I thought that I should do printing and see block printing. So I did this. This is what is popularly known as Bagru print. Bagru is a town which is about 30 kilometers from Jaipur. It's a textile town. So I work in Bagru. This is a block print. It's on silk. It's a mulberry silk. They don't work in silk usually. Then I wanted to do painting, and so I asked Bachamiya that why don't you do some dyeing and I will do some painting. So I took the same colors as Bagru people use for printing, and I did this as painting. So he did the dyeing. This is natural indigo. This is Dupion silk, and this is all hand painted by me. So this is all hand painted. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is actually something that people don't do, So I'm trying to see if we could push the tradition forward, if we could extend it further and see if we can do things. Then I started also hand painting, and so these are few examples of hand painting. difficult, it's impossible to paint with natural indigo because what happens is that when you have an indigo vat, as soon as you bring out in the brush, it touches the air and it gets oxidized. Indigo gets oxidized, and as soon as it gets oxidized, it becomes inactive. So you have to paint it in its unoxidized state. That is a real challenge. So you won't find, you will rarely find natural indigo in a painted form. So here we have been able to successfully do it. I should show you because this is part of my exhibition that I had in the early January in Jahangir Art Gallery. This is on canvas, but these are vegetable natural dyes. So these are not paints. So calling it painting also is not right. I would call it brush dye. So this is like using brush, and this is all done by me. But the technique is the same traditional technique that the Bagru people use. In Bagru they use the same technique, the same colors, and the processing is done in Bagru. This is another painting that I have done. This also is the same like that one, but it only has black. Only one color, and this is a natural dye. This is a black they make from iron. They rust the iron, and that rust is the black color that is here. And then they make red with alizarin. These are the traditional two colors, black and red. Yeah. I also started. Bardmer is in West Rajasthan, and so this is an applique that is done in Bardmer. Beautiful applique. And one of the nice thing about this craft is that it is all done by women in the villages, and they do it in their spare time. They do their home work at home, and when they get spare time, they do this. So it is almost it's a very nice way. In a way, it is a women's empowerment. So I think it's a very nice thing to do. Yeah. I think I have many things here which if you feel like seeing, you can see. Yeah.